When I was a kid, I kind of had a hard time connecting with my dad. I think my dad really wanted me to grow up with like a solid work ethic. A big part of our relationship was him making me do work. I think that work has always been a part of my dad's life. He used to tell me stories about how my grandpa made him used to do yard work on his days off and how he used to have to snow blow his driveway. If there was a job to do, he had to do it. That's how he grew up, and that's what he wanted to instill in me. But that doesn't change the fact that when I was growing up, we had a really hard time seeing eye to eye on anything. My dad really wanted to make sure that we had some way to connect. So he signed me up for a bunch of sports, and I hated those because I was like a really bumbly idiot kid.
Who's that guy? Oh, you know, that's Noah. He's a little slow. Now I like this one because it's like, oh, my parents dressed me up as like an 80s cab driver. My sister's got a wrist wallet.
Eventually, I think we found something that kind of worked for both of us. My dad and I connected through doing something that I'm gonna coin a new phrase right now. Phrase being coined. I forgot the phrase. This is the phrase. It's called project-based ridiculousness. When I was a kid, I would look forward to weird projects and activities that happened all the time in my house. The Pinewood Derby race, every year there would be, for Cub Scouts, which is the younger Boy Scouts. Imagine Boy Scouts but smaller. The Boy Scouts are smaller, not the organization. I think the Cub Scouts is actually a larger organization with smaller members. We would have a Pinewood Derby race, and basically they give all these kids like a little block of pine wood, right? And they say, hey, go whittle a car out of this thing and we'll stuff some wheels into it and we'll run it down a track. My dad had done this event as a child, so he had already done the thing where he like whittles a car out of a block of wood with a knife, and he just kind of like haphazardly like... This is my dad's original car.
This car is like... It's gotta be like 40-something years old.
And so, in his, 40 years of gained experience from when he was a child, decided that instead of hacking a car out of a piece of pine wood, we were going to sculpt the most beautiful, picturesque, minuscule model vehicle that has ever been created in the world. And the best part was, he would always ask me, Noah, what are we going to build this car around? For the first one, I was obsessed with Pokemon. So we made the coolest Pokemon car ever. There was this yellow Chevy, I think.
Chevrolets, an American Revolution.
So we modeled it after that. Come on, how dope is that? Look at that thing. We should take better care of these. These were in the attic. My dad wanted to stick little Pokemon guys in there. There was actually a Pokemon board game that had just come out. He found the number for the board game manufacturer. He called them up and he got some of these little mini figurines shipped to our house. It was really cool.
Little Pokemon from the board game.
And I think that kind of just set this precedent of like doing these crazy things. Over the years, we just kind of got into these projects that at the end, it's so silly that it's just ridiculous. So school spirit days at my school, hat day, or Halloween, or tie-dye day, weird hair day, we would make me look absolutely ridiculous. And then he would send me out of the house. I can't find the pants that went with it, but this is part of the tie-dye suit that my dad and I made together. We went to Goodwill and like found a bunch of white stuff. I painted and tie-dyed all of the stuff. I show up to school, can't believe I didn't get made fun of more than I did. I remember one year he helped me build a really, really dope Willy Wonka costume, and we built like this hat. I feel like there was something about dressing up in like a silly costume, or going all out for Halloween, or showing up with something that took a lot of deliberate time. It was really cool because you instantly have something that people like respond to. If you show up with something fun or cool, they instantly have an understanding of who you are. And I think that that has followed me through my entire life. When I got into making videos, it's like, nobody does that. None of your friends, like, this is weird. Like, why are you doing this? If they're making videos, they're making like music videos or something cool, and I just really wanted to be a big goofy idiot in front of the camera. Even this company that I'm starting right now, it's like, literally the idea is that we're gonna go come up with these insane ideas and then just go try to make them happen. And I think that there is a lot of my dad in there. The reason why I wanted to make this video is because one of those projects is coming up. Every year my dad and I do what is called the Stickly Chair Race. Is that the right way? No, it's Stickly Chair Race. No, it wouldn't be that way. It's a race that my dad and I compete in every year where you make like a ridiculous looking chair and then you push it down the road in front of the entire town before the parade, and it's on the 4th of July. And a couple years ago we got my great aunt involved, my great aunt Janine. She's gonna be 90 soon.
That's my Aunt Janine.
And I push her in a chair, and our team name is Not Dead Yet. It's one of my favorite things that I do. You got your game face on? My dad brought wigs. You wanna do it?
Not dead yet.
If it's funny. I hope I don't get a ticket.
Yeah, where did you park?
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
In the bag, under my tree.
Hi.
How's she look?
Cute.
How do we feel about winning, Aunt Janine?
Awesome.
Wave to your fans, Aunt Janine. I'm dying. Woo!
Noah Chrysler and Gene
Alright.
Chrysler Cruisers.
What do I do?
Hold on to it good and then drive with one hand.
Let me give these kids some candy.
Hey! Hey guys. That's kind of why I wanted to make this video. I think that is such an important part of who I am, and I owe it to my dad. He's kind of a hard guy to impress. Like, I've done a lot of weird, silly shit in my life. And, but there's only been a couple times when he's really been like proud or impressed of something that I've done. And when I started making news videos for RIT, I think that was one of those times, because he's just like, he was always on me. He was like, when is the next video coming out? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, what are you doing next? And, you know, that's such a big part of why I make stuff. That idea that, you know, if you put a lot of time into something and you have some fun and you capture that and you show that for other people, you can kind of brighten their days a little bit, and you can almost kind of change the way how they see the world. And that was taught to me by my dad. Wow, I'm really crying, huh? Thank you, Dad. I love you very much, and I hope we can keep doing some ridiculous shit.